You can
Can you
click on the share screen and choose the screen.
I did. I just did.
Okay.
Okay, I have it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I have it.
Perfect.
Okay. So, like I said, I will be talking about surviving and thriving beyond COVID-19, using Nigeria as a case study. And also, I wanted to I realized that most of people on the ground are medical doctors. Most of them are medical doctors based on the question they've been asking so far. So I feel being a medical doctor is not really a problem. But if you can see from the slide, this is who I am. I wear so many caps. I'm a mother, a sister, a daughter, a pastor. My profession is electrical electronics engineering. And due to the need to opt for more income, source of income, I diverted from engineering. And I've been an executive assistant. I've been a marketer. I've been a business idea generator. I've been a coach. I also pick up, but based on all this, it's all based on my passion and my zeal and what I love most. So that is why I'll tell you, all these resources on what you're doing or your profession is not a barrier to whatsoever you choose to achieve in life. I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm audible. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So let me go on. So how it all started in Nigeria, how COVID-19 started. I believe everybody started this year with a lot of expectations, set goals. And some of us will always have this New Year resolution that we always plan. And we all had this in mind that at a certain time, we are going to achieve this. But, so, you know, like I remember walking into a sister's office one day, and, you know, I'm a very curious person. I found on a table a document, a budget document that actually going through it, I realized there were some irregular data on the budget. So I picked it up. I was like, this is not possible, babe. For these people to remain on the same source of income for years and no increase, no decrease, we need to look into it. When we brought this, we realized this problem, right? So when we brought this problem up, we told them we can find solution to it. And they gave us this contract. So the contract was supposed to run for 6 months, but eventually we could only finish one phase out of 4 phases before we had this pandemic announcement. So by February, we started the project. We concluded phase 1. Then just midway to the first phase, a case of pandemic coronavirus was announced with 1 case. So Nigeria became the first among the countries in the sub-Sahara Africa to identify the COVID-19. That was in February 27th this year. So I tell you, all this pandemic issue all began when we realized that, okay, this is our data. We know that, okay, 1 case out of over 2 million people, you know, we were lackadaisical about it. But between February 27th and March 30, we had a case of 140. So that was when we woke up from our slumber and we realized that we cannot continue to ignore this COVID-19. And the government decided to shut down the nation. So we went on total lockdown for 35 days. So during the lockdown, we were faced with multi-level of changes. we never imagined the earth emergency could crumble our society, could affect our moral lives. But all this happened due to the lockdown. Like Nigeria, I said, as a gross development product of 3.7 billion alone, and our level of income group we belong to is low medium income group. This is the present case as at July 2nd. In Nigeria, the confirmed case is 26,484, while the active among them is 15,729. So this is the case in Nigeria. So it's to tell us that coronavirus is not a joking matter, and it's a very serious thing that we all need to address to. So how were we affected? I tell you, the pandemic altered our lifestyle. If you ask the world, even the dictionary meaning of Yoruba people, because I'm a Yoruba from Nigeria, they will tell you they are the socialites of the African country. So our lifestyle of partying, of celebrating was crumbled, was really affected. Our businesses were crumbled, and the way we do business was transformed totally. So I tell you, the coronavirus made most of the breadwinner jobless. They also make the active people like me very inactive. I won't tell you, I've not stepped out of my house since the beginning of the lockdown, March 16, just because I'm scared of contacting COVID-19. I'll say the issues that were affected in the business line in our nation are the tourism and aviation. Because of the lockdown, which implies that nobody can travel out of this country, we realized that there was drastic loss, over 180 billion naira, and thousands of jobs were lost because of the lockdown. Then hospitality, nobody ever entered the hotel because they don't know who actually used the room they're going to give to them. They don't trust anybody anymore. So also the hospitality workers also lost their job. The cinema and the entertainment industry was another bombshell, because most of us, we really love enjoyment. We really love entertainment. So the entertainment industry was affected with the pandemic and the lockdown, because concerts was canceled. The movie theaters were shut down. Oil and gas was not left out. Because of the lockdown, there was drop in oil demand, and there was crash in the crude oil prices. So all this led to loss of income and revenue. During the lockdown, nobody in the real estate could even construct anything. Nobody, I tell you, nobody. Then the trade, because of the shutdown of factories, because of the reduced access to raw materials and commodity to supply changes, over trillions of naira for both import and export were lost to the pandemic. Manufacturing companies could not even manufacture anything except those who are in the essential sectors in the manufacturing. Those who are manufacturing essential materials or items were not affected. For the startup businesses, entrepreneurs are obliged to take drastic steps just to remain in business, because most of them were left out and they become vulnerable for this lockdown. Consultancy and services, nobody actually consulted anybody, because the little money they had to like hold it tight, fix it, so that they won't be looking for money afterwards. Then our educational system, I tell you, was actually affected. I've been listening to every speaker talk about this. I think all over the world, the educational system is the most affected in all nations. Like due to the fragile education system in Nigeria, the pandemic poses unprecedented challenges on our governments, even the students and their parents. That it amplifies even the crack in the system. So for everyone in the rural area, when the lockdown was announced, they had to chase everybody back to their parents' house. So those who were in the rural had to go back to the rural villages, and what would they do? The education was stopped for that period, for a period of time before they realized what to do. So I tell you why some people, I will tell you that the coronavirus pandemic created a complex mixture of threats and possibilities, because it was a call for action and an occasion to enhance access to strengthen the quality of our well-being. Those were affected, that were affected, while some were experiencing a boom in their resources. I tell you, people like telecommunication enjoy an increase, because that was the period that I realized that before you load a credit worth of 1,000 naira in a day, you can call just one person. Just because you are bored, you'll be busy gisting, not thinking that you are burning some credits. Okay, so you are prompt to buy more credits a day. Then most of us, we use our mobile data, our phone, to watch Netflix. That's when you see lots of people subscribing to Netflix and cable TV. And all these sectors experience a boom in their revenue. That those who went on online trading, if I know how to manufacture something and I bring it to social media, most of them sell on social media. And what they did was, because they can't take it out, they actually collaborated with delivery services, which also indirectly or directly were making their own money and their income also. They're also the neighboring petty traders also made enough money during this pandemic. So what did we do? These are the top global companies that prospered during the pandemic, and they are still prospering. I got this detail from the Financial Times. So what did we do? What we did during the lockdown was that for the education system, there was aid given to them. 2 states actually adopted the local media channels to reach out to schools, to students in the rural area, while some privileged schools adopted e-learning. But I tell you, those are the primary and the secondary institutions. But the tertiary institutions were left out. They are still at home as we speak. Then for the travel agency sectors, travelers restriction was in place. Then suspension of passport processing and mitigation of e-passports registration services was suspended. Then for the tax and fiscal policy, I tell you, our government gave us extension to file our annual tax return. I give them a plus for that. Because I heard on the first day that there's nothing the government should do. There's no how the government should compensate the citizen. They should look for solution themselves. But our government thought it nice. It was nice for them to extend the filing period for tax return. Then they also gave us waivers on interest and penalty for those that will obtain tax debt. Then they also give loans to taxpayers. If you are not a payee, you cannot get that loan. So all these were to enhance us and to ease the lockdown on us. Therefore, for businesses, there was targeted credit facilities. They gave credit facilities to business owners, and they reduced the interest rates so to 1 unit. Then they also gave credit support to our health sector. So all this is a plus for our government. Then the exchange rate, which was going high for in the beginning of the lockdown, was suspended because they made it that, okay, there should be a standard, a unique exchange rate for every official transaction. And they stopped the sale to the Association of Bureau de Change Operators in Nigeria. So for them not to bring in black market for currency. Then our government also makes sure that the less privileged among us were given food. They were transferred cash. And I tell you, they gave some people the privilege to even take, to obtain loan in different areas of their businesses. So what did we learn? My country is a country whereby the rich goes abroad for medical checkup. We have hospitals here in Nigeria, but we still travel abroad for medical checkup because the standard, we believe the standard overseas abroad is better than the standard in here. But the moment every country shut down their boundaries, their seaports, our leaders, our rich people stayed back at home. And they looked inward, what can we do to the health sector? And they started working anew. They started processing how to make things easy for everybody. So we looked inward and we identified our problems and we adopted solutions. So many inventions came into being during this lockdown. I won't lie to you. That was when we realized that most of what we buy, we even import toothpick from in Nigeria. But this lockdown taught us that we don't need it. We have the resources. So we don't need to look out for anybody to import from. So we developed our face masks ourselves, our ventilator and wash machine, automated. I tell you, these were the things we invented. So all these are addition for, is like a blessing in disguise for us during this pandemic. So we learned, we identified new business opportunity. I won't lie to you, many people will not go online to market their product. But during this lockdown, everybody needs a source of income to sustain their family. So what they did, they put their products on social media and they were selling in a magical way. So we also learned during this lockdown, we also learned of ways of doing business. Then like me, I picked up so many skills. Like I tell you, that I improved on my data analysis. I picked up the web development skill. So that by the end of this pandemic, I'm coming out a new person. So we also adopt technology. Like I told you, most schools now are doing e-learning. If it's not the adoption of technology, I won't be speaking to you feeling like I'm in India right now, because I feel I'm home. I can talk to strangers easily now with the help of technology. So these were the lessons we learned during our lockdown. So this is Nigeria's flag, and we are blessed with mineral resources, natural resources. There's nothing we need to look out for if we have the technology in this nation. Our climate is very good and we are fertile. We have a fertile land. So what did we desire? Which way forward? Our desire is that we need economic recovery. And you know, it's not only a nation that needs economic recovery. Individually, we all need economic recovery. After the lockdown, all this we need to think about, what do we need to do? Like I told you, diversification. If you're a medical doctor, don't think you cannot be a business owner. You cannot be an entrepreneur. You can be an entrepreneur. There's an illustration that I was given while growing up, that how many legs can make a table balance? I said, it depends on the size of the table. The man looked at me and smiled. Said, look at the table. Give me a rectangular table. How many legs do you think will make it a balanced table? And I looked at it. I said 4. He said yes. That should be the minimum of your source of income for anybody, be it an employee, be it an entrepreneur. You have to diversify and have minimum of 4 income sources. That way, if one business fails, you branch into another one and you're growing. You are not depending on anybody. You are not depending on the government, but you are helping and promoting the government. So we also need to improve the use of technology. I would like to you, everyone in the whole world must adopt technology. Then for the education sector, I think it's necessary for everyone to embed technology into learning, like providing solar-powered educational devices that has offline, not online, offline academic resources. This way, the education sectors will become great, and then no child or no student will be left out of the education sector. So for every individual here today, one advice I would like to give to you is your graduates, yes, it doesn't stop there. Pick up one thing you love to do. Pick up a skill in that area you love so much.
Ma'am, I think there's a lag in your network, ma'am. Could you please check? To all the participants, I think there's a technical glitch. We will get back maybe in a minute. Please bear with the inconveniences. Ma'am, you can proceed.
Hello. Yes, so sorry, I had a disconnection from the network. had a network disconnection, so can we
Totally
proceed,
okay now
please?
that you're back.
Yeah, can I proceed?
Yes, please go on.
Okay, all right. So I think everybody I got were you able to get, will I able to speak to individual level before
We will have
disconnection?
a Q&A session at the end of your presentation, as we have around 280 people.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we all got you got me to this part of the slide. Did before I disconnected?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I proceed. So like I said everybody have to like connect with one person, leave your comfort zone. I realize most people feel not connecting with people is much secure. If I'm so scared of connecting with people, I will not have access to Janet. I will not know Mr. Joshua. I will not know Dr. Tara. I will not be sitting in my room and connecting with Indians right now, because right now, I won't lie to you, I feel like I'm at home. So connection is the paramount in this period we have. Connect to grow, connect to affect life, connect to impact. And now I would advise you not to concentrate your energy on the issue of this pandemic, because I realize the fear of this pandemic alone is making people sick, giving them depression, leading them to depression. So bother yourself not on the issue of the pandemic, but bother yourself on how to improve your skills and how to affect your nation. So the cry of every employer or every employee is fund. Even as an individual, we all need fund. So how can fund come? If the fund is, your business does not require much fund, you can call like 4 or 5 or 10 people to support you. Oh, please, can you give me 1,000 naira there? Give me 1,000 naira there. If you need 50,000 and you meet 50 people for 1,000 naira each, I tell you, you have your 50,000 naira for that business. And if you're looking for a big project that you want to start, you have a big idea, please run with it. If you are able to meet investors that trust you, they can sponsor your project. And if you feel investors are not coming, partner with people. If your idea is manufacturing, partner with packaging companies, partner with delivery service company, and this way, and even marketers. This way, you're building a supply chain that will also help and lessen your fund requirements. The best option so far is to look for sponsors that will help you look at your project, see if it's visible, and support your idea without asking for a return at the end of the business. So my belief to life is, there's an adage we say, give a man a fish, you will only feed him a day. But teach a man to fish like you are, he will be able to feed for a lifetime. So right now, everybody right here, we have been educated. They taught us how to fish, but they cannot continue to teach us how to fish. But we need to know how to fish by developing ourselves and developing the skills and providing solution to the problem. First, you need to have a wide eye opening to see opportunities, to see problems, so that you can provide a solution. Then we do not want to be users of technology alone, but we need to make technology. We need to identify and profile solution in order to serve humanity, because service to humanity is to provide solution. So now I will advise every one of us to key into the future which is technology based. And you can gain more skills. You can improve on your skill virtually. Technology is so easy, because right now the world is going, the world is growing remotely and is growing technologically. So I advise everyone to evolve around with the world as it is revolving. So now pick up a remote job. You don't necessarily need to go out every day. I have a company that recruits me in Nigeria from India. It's a technological company. They asked me to help them with their network administration in Nigeria. So all I need to do, they are there, I'm in Nigeria, I go to their customers, service their machines and their printers and everything they need to do, and get back to them, and they pay me for the job done. So the world is now easy. So let's stop this mentality of I must get to an office environment before I can get employed. No, look inward. What is that skills you have that can fetch you money? Doing that alone, I tell you, you are employer of labor, and you are also helping the government by providing employment to other people and making life easy. I have 3 people that I met during this lockdown, and I met them on social media. One was from Twitter, 2 were from LinkedIn. One is 2 of them are writers. The other one is a freelancer. All his job since 2012 has been done remotely. He doesn't need to go outside, and he's earning big because he has like 20 clients that are paying him constantly. So I advise you, pick up one of these skills, develop yourself, and the sky is your starting point. Thank you. Any question? Can I?
Thank you so much, Abosede. It was really nice. Way back down when I did my undergrad of medicine, I had the opportunity to study with a lot of friends from Nigeria, and
Really?
it's somewhat a similar country with India, and your culture, your tradition, and we both run down on the same line with India and Nigeria. So I have a couple of questions.
Yes. Okay.
So considering Nigeria to have few similarities with India, what type of startup can students look forward to? After their college, they might not have enough amount of financial assistance. So what type of startups they can start?
Like I will tell you what I did. For startup, I started with washing of clothes. It's funny, right? Yeah, because it's my hobby. I really love washing. I won't lie to you. If you have a room full of clothes, I wash it. So I have passion for it. So, and I have some friends that don't like washing clothes.
Okay.
What did I do? So I said, oh, you don't like washing clothes? Bring your clothes, I'll wash it for a token.
Okay.
I wasn't idle. So they pay me for washing their clothes. There's no dirty job.
True.
I don't believe there's no small job. Pick up something you love to do. If it's your passion, if you ask my parents, I can, if you ask me, can you turn this living room around? I can turn it around within 5 seconds because I'm an organized person. I also pick up that cleaning habit. If there's a construction company around me, I walk up to them. Oh. Sorry, I can do post-construction cleaning for you. They look at me, you girl, can you do it? I say, yes, I can do it. It's just to gather some friends that has passion with me, and we all do it, and we share the profits. That way, we are not depending on anybody, but we are helping ourselves, and we are adding value to our lives. So that way, you can look at what you love doing. I will advise you, look at what you love doing. I love talking. I love cleaning. I love picking snails. There was a point I picked snail, and I was like, I'm running snail, and these snails are getting big. They are growing large. What will I do with it? Guess what? I sold the snail, and I made some money. So those are areas you look into. There's no opportunity. There's opportunity every day for everybody. So look around you, identify what the problem is, and provide solution. Doing that, you are an entrepreneur. You don't need to work in an office.
When you spoke about
I hope
snails,
I answered the question.
yeah, when you spoke about snails, that also reminds me about the Korean economy and the industry there, that they are in a high demand for snails. And a lot of students who are in their, high school or in the college, they go for snail picking to the countryside over the weekends, and they sell it in the city for a very, very high price. And
High
that
price, yeah.
yeah, so I completely understand that. And these cleaning and cleaning services in the US, if you could have a laundromat service in your house for 5 to 6 washing machines, with people who do not have it will be using your facility. So as you say, no job is a dirty job. And I also see that a lot of students have been taking up cooking as a passion, baking and pastry.
Exactly.
So I
Yeah,
think
it all depends on your passion.
yeah, thank you about that. And one last question I have for you is,
Yes, yeah.
how has Nigeria adopted with the digitalization? You know, because you also similarly have a city type of atmosphere, at the same time you have the rural type, and that's how India also rolls. So how has digitalization reached everywhere? Have they adopted it, or do they find it tough?
No, I would say for the city, the urban areas, yes, we have adopted it. For the rural area, because most of us are still believing we use our mobile phones. So for the rural areas, those that have mobile phone can actually access the internet. But it's on, rural area, what is their income, source of income? They are farmers. They cannot afford it. So what the government are looking into is like, yes, they have marks there. They have they've erected the marks so for them to have access to internet, but it's not sufficient because it's not sustainable for the farmers in form of capital wise. Unlike people in the it's easier for somebody any daily basis or big amount of money to actually sustain themselves with the technology. So it's still an issue here too that we are still looking into. That is why I said we don't need to look for manufacturers. If you have the technology of how to manufacture something, please develop it. Partner with the company. If you like now, I'm looking into manufacturing solar panels, solar cells, not mounting. I need to manufacture solar cell from the raw material stage to conclusion to the panels. That is my passion right now. That is where I'm looking out for. So if I have people that can support me in this vision, then the world is not that we have to go to one country alone to start buying from them. We also need to bring it to our own country and start selling it to our own people. That way our economy will grow.
That was very powerful statement, to close with that. Bring it for our people, because we all keep buying it from that particular country. Whenever we go there, we purchase it and bringing back. We never think about manufacturing it right in our country. So it was very enlightening to see a parallel world, something similar to India, and listen the stories. It was great honor to have you with us today in the evening, and looking at women empowering everywhere, even in this COVID crisis, when we turn all around, successful managements are done by women. It's a great pleasure to have you here, Abosede. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Then I see some hands raised. Do I need to?
No, that will be handled.